What is kinesiology tape? What does it do? Who should and shouldn't use it? And are there taping methods that might help with pain that you get from gaming? Well, if you're asking yourself any of those questions, then this is the perfect video for you because that's exactly what I'm going to tell you. Kinesiology tape is a stretchy cloth tape. Now, athletes use it usually for pain and swelling. Do you need it to game? No, you don't need anything to game, but long sessions can definitely cause soreness, and years of gaming can lead to more serious issues like carpal tunnel. So if this is something that can help, it's worth trying out. The harder question to answer is, does it actually work? And that's maybe. Some people say that it does, some people say that it doesn't. There are a lot of professional athletes and amateur athletes that use it all the time, and I've applied it a bunch of times in the physical therapy clinics that I've worked in, and I've never heard of someone saying that it made anything worse. Now, the good part is that it's not really expensive to try it out, so if you try it and it works, awesome. If it doesn't, well then you're not really out a lot of cash. So who should use it? I'd recommend it to anyone who's gaming for long periods of time, like streamers or esports athletes. If you've been dealing with some minor pain from long sessions, but you have more sessions planned in the future, I'd say it's worth trying. Now, there are people who shouldn't use it. If you have an open wound, don't put this tape over it. If you have active cancer or diabetes, you shouldn't use this tape either. And if you have fragile skin or an allergy to adhesives, don't use this tape. Even if you don't have fragile skin, be careful when you're taking it off. You don't want to just rip it off like you're trying to wax your arm. You can damage your skin if you do that. Now, if you aren't subscribed to this channel, you can still use this tape, but you have a 50% chance of your crush texting you if you use this tape while you're subscribed to the channel. I don't make the rules. This is just how it is. It's in studies and stuff, science. It's true, believe me. All right, so you know what it is, you know who shouldn't use it, and you know that I'm about to tell you some methods that help with gaming. Now, what type of tape should you use? The answer to that is Mueller, and not just because they're sponsoring this video. Mueller has been making products like this for over 60 years, and I've actually been working with them behind the scenes for a while now, helping them to develop products specifically for gamers. A collaboration like this is like the first time that someone decided to combine peanut butter and jelly. The main goal of this channel was always to combine my knowledge of physical therapy with my love for gaming to help gamers, and to be able to help guide a company like Mueller in a genuine way into this community has been absolutely amazing. There's definitely more to come on this Mueller Fracno sandwich, but for now, let's just say that Mueller tape is pretty awesome and it's what you should use when you're doing this. In this video, I'm going to cover 2 methods of taping, and in the future, I'm definitely gonna cover more. Now, before applying this tape, make sure that your skin is clean and dry. Sweat or lotion should be cleaned away, and shaving the area of any hair is definitely ideal. Now, I know that's a lot to ask, but hair grows back, and the difference in how efficient the tape is night and day when you shave it versus not shaving it. The first method I'm going to show you is a simple wrist taping method good for someone's keyboard or mouse hand. Now, for this method, you're going to need 2 short pieces and 1 long piece. When you pull the pieces off of the roll, they don't come out looking like this. They're actually a little bit longer. To get them to look like this, we're going to have to make a few cuts. So when you tear this off, you're actually just going to fold it in half. And using the sharpest scissors that you can find, you're going to cut right down the middle. Once you have it like this is the right length, but the problem is that we have these sharp edges, and that is going to end up catching on clothes, and it's gonna peel back, and it's just not gonna be any good. So we're going to use the other end as a guide when we cut this. You don't have to do this, but this is a little trick to getting nice, clean corners without having to kind of eyeball it and mess it up like I always do. Tear along the backing of the tape at one of those edges. Peel it off. You want to be careful not to touch the end of this tape because you don't want to mess with the adhesive. You're going to anchor it on one side of your wrist with no tension at all. Once you have that placed down, you're going to flip it over, and what you can do is you can slide it forward a little bit, and that's actually going to start the process of peeling off the tape. Stop at the end like this so that we have this handle to hold on to, and you're going to apply slight tension. You don't want to pull it all the way like this, but just some slight tension as it goes across your wrist. And once you get across your wrist, you're going to stop pulling on it, and you're going to anchor the other side down. It's going to look something like this. Now we're going to do the other end. This is going to be the same process as the first one. We're just going to be placing it over the top. Now we're just going to anchor it down, flip that over, but not all the way. Slight tension again, lay it down, and anchor the end piece. Now it looks something like this. We're gonna take our large piece, and this is gonna end up going across the top of our hand just like that. So to do this, we don't have to cut anything. We're just going to tear off one end. We're going to lay that on top of our hand. Remember, this has no tension on it whatsoever. Once we've done that, flip it over, start that process. Now, you're gonna extend your arm and bring your hand down slightly like this, and we're going to pull with slight tension going down our forearm and then attach. Once you've done that, you can smooth it down, and there you have it. This is what it should look like when you're finished. The next method is a thumb taping method, and it's great for someone who's gaming with a controller or someone who does a lot of mobile gaming with a phone or a Switch or something handheld. For this method, you're going to need one short piece and two long, thin pieces. We're gonna have to make some cuts to make our tape look like this. You're going to start by tearing off one eye strip. You're going to fold it in half and cut straight down the middle. Once you've done this, again, we're going to round out our corners using the other side as a guide. Now that we've made this short piece, we need to recreate our two long skinny pieces. So for that, we're just going to tear off one piece like that, and we are just going to cut straight down the middle. Just like the other pieces, we're going to have to round out this corner. Now that we have our two long pieces, I want you to take one of them and tear at the end to start peeling that off. Make sure that you don't touch this. And with this piece, we're going to anchor it right at the base of our thumb, just like that. Flip that over and start sliding it back a little bit to pull on that tape. And just like before, we're going to stop before we get to the end, so that we have a little handhold. Once you do this, I want you to extend your arm straight and then tilt your hand down just like that. So, just like that. Extend and down. Apply some slight tension going down your forearm and then anchor it at the end with no tension. Once you've done that, you can slide that down. You wanna make sure that everything is smooth against your skin, because if it's lifted up at all, that's gonna be something that catches and starts to peel off the tape. You don't want that. We're going to repeat this step with our second piece. It's gonna go pretty much right over that first piece, but we're not going to pull it as far down our forearm. Extend your arm, tilt your hand down, and come down about 75% of the way, and then smooth that down. Once we have those first two thin strips down, we're going to finish off with our short strip. Tear at one end, peel that back, anchor it down with no tension, flip that over, slide it forward, get your hand hold at the end, applying slight tension going across our wrist, ending with no tension to anchor it down. And there you have it. That is how it should look when it's finished. I hope that these taping methods help you out, and if you have any questions about them, or if you'd like to request a different type of method for something else that's bothering you, well then let me know in the comments below, or stop by a stream and let me know there. I'll see you next time. Peace!
Woohoo! Oh no!
What happened?
Okay, well,